hear me clearly, please let me know in the chat,
All
or
right,
no, unmute yourself and let me know because I can't really see the chat. Thank you. All right. All right, if you can see my screen, Coach Mo, can you see my screen clearly?
Yes, we can.
All right. All right, so once again, welcome everybody to this presentation today. Like I said, this presentation is for the layman, for the person that doesn't understand what cryptocurrency is all about, or you just have a vague knowledge of it. And for the person that wants to understand what this Royal Cube business can offer them, this is a presentation for you. Now, let's move on. So I told you that we're going to talk about cryptocurrency. We're going to talk about how it has helped us, how it is still helping us, and how it works with Royal Q as a business. So when you hear of cryptocurrency, I also need you to understand that apart from cryptocurrency, we also have what we call fiat currency, which is FIAT. Now, what exactly is fiat currency? Literally, fiat currency means paper money. When I say paper money, I mean our naira, the dollar, the euros, the yen, any physical currency you can hold with your hands, put in your pockets, exchange for some goods or service, that is fiat currency. Now, there are lots of restrictions that come with our regular banking systems. Let's take, for instance, let's say you have a friend of yours that's in Sweden and you'd like to send them $100,000. Now, you and I know that, let's say you're in Nigeria, for you to send this fund, you need to get to the bank. They probably invite you in to know what you do, what exactly you do for a living. You need to get to the bank, you need to sign some paperwork, all that hassle just to send your own money. There is no privacy when it comes to this. But in cryptocurrency, now cryptocurrency offers you a lot of things. Take, for instance, in crypto, we have a saying that now every transaction that has ever happened in cryptocurrency, every single transaction that has ever happened in cryptocurrency gets recorded on what we call a blockchain. Now, what is this blockchain? So, like I said, I'm going to break it down to the barest minimum so that we understand it for the average Joe. So when you say blockchain, what does it mean? Let's say, for instance, those of us who have gone to the market or who go to the market regularly to purchase things, let's say goods or service or food stuff. Maybe you've encountered once or twice or three times a lady that walks up to the shop. Let's say you're buying something from a shop. She walks up to the shop and she takes a certain amount, let's say 1,000 naira, from the owner of that shop. Now, what does she do? She leaves that shop, she takes that money, she records how much she took from that man in the book, in her notebook. She records the time, the day, the amount that was given to her. Now, she leaves that shop, she heads over to another shop, takes the same amount, 1,000 naira, from the next person, the next owner of the next shop. She keeps doing this for each shop. In Nigeria, we call it ajo, which is basically crowdfunding, to a point whereby when you guys accumulate a certain amount of money, then one person can take all that money and just repeat the process. So she keeps going from one shop to the other. Every time she takes money from the owner, she records it in her notebook. She writes it down. She writes down the time, the day, the amount. Now, why is she doing that? Why is she writing all those transactions in that notebook? She's doing that for the future so that there is no discrepancy as to how much she was given, when it was given to her, and what day it was given to her. That notebook, in this case, would be called the blockchain. Please pay keen attention to all I'm talking about because this will help us understand the RoyalQ business better. So the layman example I just gave you now, that lady's notebook in cryptocurrency would be called the blockchain because the blockchain is where every single transaction that has ever happened in crypto gets recorded. And the good thing is that once data is uploaded onto the blockchain, it cannot be edited. It cannot be changed or altered. That is the power of what the blockchain can offer you. Why is it amazing? Right now, as we speak, I can go to the blockchain right now, probably scroll back to 2010 or let's say 2019, and I would see a transaction that happened at this same time. Right now, the time is 13 minutes past 9. I would see a transaction that happened in 2019 at 13 minutes past 9 on the blockchain. What would I see on that blockchain? In the blockchain, we have a saying that the blockchain is two things. Number one, it is anonymous, but it is also transparent. Two things. The blockchain is transparent and it is also anonymous. What do I mean by these terms? Now, I just gave an example. I said, let's say, for instance, right now, I can go to the blockchain. Let's say I scroll back to 2019. I can see a transaction that happened at this exact time right now as we speak, 13 minutes past 9 in 2019. What would I see on the blockchain? I would see the wallet address that sent the funds. I would see the amount of cryptocurrency that was sent at that particular time. I would see the wallet address that received the funds as well. Now, that is transparency because anybody around the world can log onto the blockchain and verify that transaction. Now, but when I say it is also anonymous, what do I mean? So even though I can log onto the blockchain and I can check what wallet address sent the funds, what amount was sent, what wallet received it, I still cannot tell who the owners of those wallets are. I can't tell if it is John that owns it. I can't tell if it is Jane that owns the wallet that received. I can't tell if it is Paul that sent the funds. No, I can only see the wallet address that sent it. I can see the amount that was sent and the wallet address that received it and the time. So that is why I said that the blockchain is transparent, but it is also anonymous. So please pay keen attention because during my presentations, I always like engaging with you guys. So when I ask a question, please do well to respond in the chat. So I am sure that you are all following. All right. So we've established this fact that the blockchain is transparent and is also anonymous. Now we've talked about what cryptocurrency is. We've talked about it being a digital currency. It is money that can only be sent over the internet. Remember, fiat, I mentioned fiat currency. And I said fiat currency is literally paper money, money that exists in your hands. You can hold it with your hands, put it in your pockets, in your wallets. The money right now that you have in your wallet, in your bags, anywhere, is called fiat currency. While cryptocurrencies are currencies that can only be sent over the internet. Basically, they are termed digital currencies. All right, moving on. Now, for those who don't understand that cryptocurrency is here to stay and it will keep evolving as the days roll by, these are a few statistics for you to take account of. Now, right here we have, one second, right here we have, in the world right now, well, this data is actually old, like this was as of last year. As of last year, there are over 420 million crypto users worldwide as of last year. Because when I checked this data a few months ago, I realized that as we speak right now, there are over 570 million crypto users worldwide. And obviously, this number will keep rising and rising as the days roll by. As more people get involved As more people get interested in what crypto can offer them, the numbers will keep soaring to greater heights. Now, over here, these are top countries that are involved with cryptocurrency. Number one, we have the USA at approximately 46 million people. Next, we have India at 27 million. Next, we have Pakistan at 26 million. We have Nigeria, 22 million. We also have Vietnam at 20 million. Of course, these figures have definitely changed by now because more people are getting in tune and aware of what cryptocurrency can do for them. Now, before I go on to the next slide, could you please type in the chat? There are two main characteristics of the blockchain that I mentioned. Would you please help me type it in the chat? The two main characteristics I talked about in regards to the blockchain. Could you please type it in the chat so I'm sure that we are all paying attention? I'm expecting more answers because right now we are approximately 58 people in the room, so I should be expecting more answers in the chat. All right, so someone says it's anonymous and also transparent. Abdul says transparent and anonymous. Bashir says anonymous. Awesome. Awesome. Transparent and anonymous. All right, great. So that's awesome. I'm happy that we are all following. So please pay keen attention, especially for those that are here for the very first time. These this info will definitely help you to understand what RoyalQ can offer you. Now, moving forward, we've talked about what cryptocurrency is. We've talked about what fiat currency is. Now, let's move on to how can you receive this cryptocurrency? How can you sell it? How can you buy it? For you to be able to buy or receive or send any cryptocurrency, you have to get involved with what we call a cryptocurrency exchange. Now, what exactly is an exchange? An exchange is basically a digital marketplace, a digital platform where you can purchase these coins. On that platform, you can buy cryptocurrency, you can sell, you can send, you can receive. That is your digital wallet, your digital bank account, basically. So for you to get involved with anything cryptocurrency, you have to get involved with an exchange. That's where you can buy from, you can sell, receive, and also send. There are so many cryptocurrency exchanges out there, as you can see. Here we have Coinbase, we have Binance, we have Kraken, we have Bybit, we have KuCoin. There's so many of them that you can get and you can take advantage of. But we'll tell you the one that definitely or best suits the business of Royal Q. Now, moving forward, please pay keen attention. So let's talk about trading pairs. Now, when you hear the word pair, what comes to your mind, please? Please type in the chat. When you hear the word pair, P-A-I-R, what comes to your mind? Please type in the chat. When you hear the word pair, what comes to your mind, please? When you hear the word pair, what comes to your mind? All right, so Abdul says 2. Faith says 2. Are these the only two people that are paying attention? Anybody, any more people? Engineer says 2 currencies, relative values. All right, he has moved ahead, but awesome. Samuel, more than 1. Olumide says 2. Awesome. So basically, when you hear the word pair, the thing that should first come to your mind, obviously, is the number 2, something that's in twos, something that's in pair. So when you hear the word trading pair, it simply means it has to do with trading and it's in twos. So trading pair in this sense basically means you would like to know what the value of what one currency pair is to another. Now, in trading pair, it is not just channeled to cryptocurrency. We have trading pairs for cryptocurrency. We also have trading pairs for fiat currencies. Remember, we talked about fiat currencies, we talked about cryptocurrencies. Now, for trading pairs, we have trading pairs in cryptocurrencies. We also have trading pairs in fiat currencies. Let's say, for instance, let's say you are in Nigeria. A friend of yours comes to visit you from, please pay attention. You're in Nigeria. A friend of yours comes to visit you from the US. They hand over $100 bill to you. All right. When they hand the money to you, obviously, because you can't use that money in this country, because that is not the legal tender of this country, the next day you decide to go exchange that money for the legal tender of your country. Now, what do? You head over to a bureau de change, or you head over to an aboki and like, I beg aboki, how much is dollar to naira today? You're basically asking him that, how much is the dollar, which is USD, to naira today? So this is USD/NGN. How much is the dollar to the naira today? You would like to know what the value of the United States dollar you are holding is in the local currency of the country that you are currently residing in. So this right here is the trading pair for that question. This right here is the trading pair for that question. All right. Now, knowing this as an example, let's have a little exercise. So please, as much as you can, type in the chat what you think the answer is, or pay attention. So let's say you are in Japan. All right. Let's say you are in Japan. Or no, let's say you're in the US. All right. You're in the United States of America, and a friend of yours comes to visit you from the UK. All right. You are in the US. A friend of yours comes to visit you from the UK, and they hand over £100 note, £100 note to you, fiat paper. They hand it over to you there in the US. Now, because you can't use that money there in the US, you decide to go exchange that for the legal tender of the country you are residing in at the time. Could you please type in the chat, what would the trading pair for that transaction be? Remember, you are in the US, a friend of yours comes to visit you from the UK, hands over £100 note to you. You decide to go exchange that for the legal currency of the country you are residing in. Could you please type in the chat, what would the trading pair for that question, for that transaction be? Please type in the chat. I'm expecting more answers, not just a few people. Please type in the chat. I'll be checking now. Anybody? All right, so engineer says GBP/USD. Abdul says GBP/USD. Samuel says Euro/dollars. Sorry, Box says GB/USD. Mom says, okay. Sheikh Mom says USD/pounds. Okay, I see a lot of us have the idea. Japan/USDT. I didn't mention USDT and Japan. I said you are in the US. A friend of yours comes to visit you from the UK. They hand over £100 note to you there in the US. You decide to go exchange that for the legal currency of the country. What would the trading pair for that transaction be? All right, so a lot of you are correct. The correct answer would be, you are in the US, so it would be GBP/USD, because you would like to exchange the pounds you are holding for the legal currency of that country that you are residing in. Basically, you would like to know what the value of the pounds you are holding in United States dollar. Simple. All right. So Now, whenever you hear trading pairs, you have an idea of what it means. You know, there has to be in twos. It is something that has to do with trading. It is, and is also you like to know what the value of what one currency is to another. As simple as that. All right. Before we go into the next thing, all these examples we just gave. Okay, let me give one more. One more example. So please type in the chat. One more example before we move on. Let's say you are in hmm, let's say you are in, yeah, you are in the UK. All right. You're in the UK, and a friend of yours comes to visit you from Japan. You're in the UK. A friend of yours comes to visit you from Japan, and they hand over the legal currency of Japan to you. Remember, you are in the UK. So because you can't use that money in the UK, you decide to go exchange that for the legal currency of that country. Could you please type, what would the trading pair for that transaction be? Please type in the chat. Remember, you are in the UK. A friend of yours comes to visit you from Japan, hands over the legal currency of Japan to you there in the UK. You decide to go exchange that for the legal currency of the country. What would the trading pair for that transaction be? Awesome. So we have JPN slash GBP. We have GBP slash JPY. We have JPY slash GBP. Awesome. All right. Joy. Okay. I'm sure you want to write GBP, JPY, not Joy. All right. All right. So a lot of us, once again, are correct. Fantastic. I'm happy at least everybody is following. Most people are following. Please, if at any point you don't feel comfortable or you don't understand everything we're talking about, do well to type in the chat. Be bold about it, and I will definitely go back to it before we move on. So yes, the correct answer would be because you are in the UK, a friend of yours handed over the Japanese currency to you, so it will be JPY slash GBP. Now, what does this mean? The Japanese yen slash the Great British Pounds. GBP stands for Great British Pounds for those that are here for the very first time. All right. So all these examples we've talked about, from you being in Nigeria and your friend giving you dollars, or you being in the US and your friend handing over Japanese yen to you, or you being in the UK and all that. Could you please type in the chat? What type of trading pair are these? All these examples, are they fiat? Are they crypto trading pairs? One second. Are they crypto or fiat trading pairs? What type of trading pairs are all these examples that we have just answered in the chat? What type of trading pairs are these? Please type in the chat. What type of trading pairs are these? Awesome. So engineer says fiat, fiat. Abdul says no. I don't know what you're referring to. Trading pairs, trading fiat trading pairs. Awesome. All right. So everybody that's saying fiat trading pairs, can you tell me why you are choosing to say that they are all fiat trading pairs? Give me a reason in the chat. Everybody that wrote fiat, what is your reason to say that these are fiat trading pairs? What is your reason? Please type in the chat. Thank you very much. What is your reason? All right, so Chidozie Opara says paper currency. Bashir says local or paper money or physical money. Praise says currencies. Engineer says they are all centralized legal tenders. Awesome. Igor says these are the traditional currencies that are currently being used in circulation. Mano says, Samuel says, both are paper currency. Both they are exchanging to two different currencies. Okay. All right. So I'm happy that we have a general knowledge of what I'm talking about. So yes, these are all examples of fiat trading pairs. All right. Now, remember I told you that apart from just fiat trading pairs, we have crypto trading pairs as well. For instance, here we can see that we have BTC / USDT. Now, this is an example of a cryptocurrency trading pair or a crypto trading pair, because obviously over here, this stands for Bitcoin, BTC, while USDT stands for United States Dollar Tether. I'll say it again, and let me write it down. USDT stands for United States Dollar Tether, TETHER. All right. Now, what exactly is USDT? USDT is basically the cryptocurrency equivalent of a regular fiat dollar. USDT is the cryptocurrency equivalent of a regular fiat dollar. So that means that one USDT is equal to one fiat dollar. I hope it is clear. So one USDT is equal to one fiat dollar, and vice versa. One fiat dollar is also equal to one USDT. So when you see BTC / USDT, this simply means that you would like to know what the value of what value of Bitcoin you have, what is the value in USDT. That is simply what you are trying to find out. So in the chat, please, for those that have an idea about cryptocurrency, can you please give us examples of crypto trading pairs that you have come across during your journey in cryptocurrency? Please type in the chat. For those that are here for the very first time, so they can see that there are so many cryptocurrency trading pairs in circulation. So in the chat, please, as much as you can, could you please type examples of crypto trading pairs that you have come across, during your journey in crypto? So Lisa said ETH/USDT. Engineer says ETH/BTC. We have next person says Bonk/USDT Alpine. So yes, there are so many. Awesome. Yeah. Fantastic. BTC/ETH as well. Awesome. I'm happy that we have seen that it's not just when it ends with USDT, that is when we can call it a crypto trading pair. That would be wrong. It doesn't have to end with USDT. It could be BTC/Ethereum. That's ETH. It could be ETH/BTC. It could be PEPE/BTC. It doesn't have to end with USDT before you say that it is a crypto trading pair. Awesome. So moving on. We've talked about trading pairs, we've talked about crypto trading pairs, we've talked about fiat trading pairs as well. Please, like I said, pay keen attention to all I'm saying, because all this will help you understand the business of Royal Q. Understand when you get started. That way, when you get started, you don't get lost. You understand that, oh, I heard this in the meeting. Oh, I understand what this is. Oh, this is what that man was talking about back then. Yes, that's what all this talk is for. So please pay attention. Now, moving on to, let's talk about some basic investment strategies when it comes to cryptocurrency. How can you basically make more cryptocurrency? There are two major ways you can. And the first way is by what we call hodling. 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 It's a play on the word hold. HOLD. This is a play on the word hold. All right. Now, what does it mean? When you hear the word hold, obviously at the back of your mind, you know that it's trying to hold on to something or not letting go of something, you are holding on to it no matter what. So when you hear hodling, that's simply what it means. When you hold on to something without letting go because you believe in what that thing can do for you in the future. Let's take, for instance, like I said, I will always use very basic examples so that we can understand it to the best of our knowledge. So let's say, for instance, a few years ago, let's say 10 years ago, you decided to purchase a piece of land for those in Nigeria, you purchased a piece of land for 1 million naira. And when you purchase that piece of land, you told yourself that no matter what happens, you are not going to sell off until 2024, 10 years later. You told yourself that no matter what happens, no matter what temptation, no matter what offer happens, you are not selling. All right. Let's say a few months down the line, let's say 6 months down the line, someone comes to you with a very juicy offer and they're offering you 6 million naira for that piece of land that you purchased 6 months ago. Obviously, this is an amazing profit, but because you told yourself that you are not selling no matter what, you decide to decline this offer because you believe that in the future, this 1 million naira land will be worth way more than it is right now. So what are you doing? You are holding on to that piece of land. You are holding on to that property. In cryptocurrency, we would call you a hodler. HODLER, a hodler. All right. Now, so let's take for instance, you were able to withstand all the temptations, all the offers, and you held on to 2024. Then, by some strange miracle, you decide to go to check out that land. And right now, as we speak in 2024, that piece of land is currently going for approximately 20 million naira. 10 years later. Yes, it happens. So now you see that you made the right decision. You took the right gamble, basically, by choosing to hold on to that piece of property until the time was right. Obviously, now you've made way more profit than you would have made if you had sold it any time sooner. All right. Now, the reason I'm using an example of a land is because it is something that we can all relate to. Obviously, when I speak of land in this sense, I mean a cryptocurrency. Now, let's take, for instance, when Bitcoin started, when Bitcoin started, Bitcoin was approximately, it was less than, it was less than um, 10 cents. When Bitcoin started, it was less than 10 cents. So please follow me. Let's take, for instance, back then, obviously, when Bitcoin came out, there were a lot of, naysayers saying that this thing cannot work. It has no financial backing. There is no way this currency can withstand the test of time. This is a scam. Of course, there were naysayers, but there were people that believed in it. There were people that, regardless of what people were saying, they decided to take that gamble, to take that risk and invest in this thing that they don't understand. So back then, when Bitcoin was less than 10 cents, let's take, for instance, you right now that listen to this call, you decided to purchase 10 pieces of Bitcoin at 10 cents. You decided to purchase 10 pieces of Bitcoin, 10 pieces of Bitcoin at 10 cents. How much would you have spent to purchase those 10 pieces? Please type in the chat. How much would you have spent to purchase those 10 pieces of Bitcoin if um, if you bought it back then? Please type in the chat. You decided to purchase 10 pieces of Bitcoin at 10 cents. How much would you have spent to purchase those 10 pieces of Bitcoin? Please type in the chat. Anybody? Awesome. So Bashir says $1. James says $1 as well. Are these the only people that are listening? Anybody else? We have over 66 people in the room right now. So I should expect more answers. Anybody? Ihedioha says 10 cents. No, that is wrong. Remember, I said you purchase 10 pieces of Bitcoin as at 10 cents for each Bitcoin. So that will be 10 times 10 cents. So yes, you would have spent your capital. Your capital for this business venture would have been a whooping $1. So this is to show you the power of cryptocurrency and what it can offer you if you get involved early. So if you had purchased 10 pieces of Bitcoin at 10 cents, you would have spent a whooping amount of $1. So right now, as we speak, let's say you forgot about that wallet address, you carried on with your life, Bitcoin pumped and dumped and pumped and dumped. And at some point, you just got, tired and you just went on with your life, with your 9 to 5 business, with your, being a businessman or woman. You just carried on with your life. You forgot about that wallet. Fast forward to 2024, right now as we speak. Can someone tell me how much one Bitcoin is as we speak right now? How much is one Bitcoin as we speak right now? Please type in the chat. How much is one Bitcoin? One BTC. How much is one BTC right now as we speak? One Bitcoin right now as we speak. Okay, so Bashir says $61,000. So Ebox says 61. Goriola says 61.5. Mom says 60. So yes, let's take a round figure of $60,000. So one BTC right now as we speak is equal to $60,000 for one Bitcoin. Now let's take for instance that that wallet address that you purchased those 10 Bitcoin years ago, you open it up today, this evening, right now, as we speak. You found the password, or maybe in the news, people started talking about Bitcoin. So you're like, I thought I purchased something like this a few years ago. You do your research and then you're able to find your wallet address and log in. Could you please tell me how much would you be staring at in your wallet address right now as we speak if you had held on to those coins till now? Could you please type in the chat? How much would you have? How much would you see in your wallet right now as we speak? Please type in the chat. How much would you see in the wallet right now as we speak? All right. So engineer says $600,000. Storybox says 5 million. Bashir says $600,000. Everybody says 600,000. So, of course, the correct answer would be $600,000 because remember, back then you purchased 10 pieces of Bitcoin. So at the current rate of approximately $60,000, 10 pieces of Bitcoin would be $60,000 times 10. So yes, the amount of money you'd see in that wallet address that you spent a whooping amount of $1 would be $600,000. Now, in what business, what 9 to 5, what business can offer you such returns in such time? It is only cryptocurrency that can offer you that kind of profits. And that is why a lot of people that got involved very early when Bitcoin started are multi-millionaires now because they took the chance, they took the risk, and it paid off for them. Now, this is just to show you the power of hodling. HODLING. All right. So I hope all my examples have been able to show you or make you understand what hodling can do for you. You might be telling me that, yeah, Bitcoin has come and, it's now too much. I can't get into Bitcoin again. Well, you might be right, you might be wrong. But the good thing is that there are so many cryptocurrencies that you can take advantage of that are still in cent right now as we speak. And RoyalQ can help you grow those funds to those heights because it's just opportunity and taking action when you are supposed to. And if you're lucky, you'll be one of these people. So that is the potential of what cryptocurrency can do for you and the potential of hodling as well. So remember, we're talking about basic investment strategies. The first one we talked about was hodling, and the next one will be day trading. Day trading. Now, obviously, when you hear hodling, we talked about hodling, and hodling obviously means those that are willing to hold on to something for a long time or for the long term. But day traders, it's a little more tricky. For you to become a day trader, you need to have deep understanding of the market. You need to understand when to get into the market, when not to get into the market, because yes, not trading is also trading. You need to understand what's going on around the world because yes, news, politics can affect the trend of a trade. So to become a day trader, you need extensive understanding and knowledge of the market and how to trade. But the thing about day traders is that they're not looking to hold on to a coin for the longest term. No, they're looking to get in and out as quick as possible. So day traders are looking for the shortest time possible to get into the market, make profit, and leave. That is why they are called day traders, or we can call them scalpers, you know. So, but this doesn't mean that you must be one or the other. It doesn't mean that you must be a day trader or you must be a hodler. As a matter of fact, you can be both. You can be a day trader, you can also be a hodler. Why? Because there are so many cryptocurrencies out there. Yes, there are some coins that you can look at and you can tell that, yes, this coin has the potential to do well in the future. Then you can invest in those ones and wait for the future. But also there are coins that are very volatile, coins that pump and dump and pump and dump continuously so many times in a day. Then you can take advantage of them by day trading those coins. So these are the two major types of major ways that you can multiply your cryptocurrency. Now, moving on to why we are here today to talk about the RoyalQ bot. But before I go into that, I'm hoping a lot of us here have heard of the word um, artificial intelligence, which is AI, artificial intelligence. You know, back in the day, before you could pass an exam or before you could pass an exam, what do you need to do? You go to the school, you go for a night class, you go and study, you go to the library, you know, write down all the information you want in your notebook, you know, go back home, study, and come back for the exam the next day. Fast forward, later in the future, things called cyber cafes started springing up here and there. You'd go to a cyber cafe, you'd purchase some time, maybe 20 naira or 15 naira for 1 hour. You know, you'd buy some time, you surf the web, get all the information you want, you know, and go and pass your exam if you know, the very next day. Fast forward, the internet, the cyber cafes started fading off because the internet was now in our hands, in our phones. We could access the internet from the comfort of your home. All I'm trying to show you is that technology keeps evolving regardless. It will continue evolving as the days roll by. In the US, we've all heard of Elon Musk, the owner of Tesla, the Tesla company. They produce self-driving cars. Self-driving cars simply mean that you can just get into the car, put the destination, you know, where you want to head to, sit in the car, and the car drives you straight to your destination. In China, there are self-driving taxi companies. These are companies that don't have a single driver in their payroll. Self-driving taxi companies, meaning that once you get there, you choose your location, the car drives up to you, you get in, and it takes you to your destination. In the past, that was not possible. Probably something you'd have seen in a movie many years ago. talking about the future. But that's our present reality. So this just shows you that regardless, technology will keep evolving as the days roll by. We are blessed to be in such a time like this, where technology is at our beck and call. Right now, you're on a call with me, listening to my voice. I might never meet any of you or some of you forever, but you are listening to my voice through this application called Zoom. This wasn't possible in the past. This was an idea from somebody, and then the thing came to fruition. So, all I'm trying to say is that artificial intelligence is here to better our lives. It is here to help make your life easier, regardless of whatever it is you are doing. A 9 to 5, you're a businessman or woman, artificial intelligence can help you to make your business better. Now, that being said, if you have an AI tool that can help make your transportation better, an AI tool that can help make your education better, an AI tool that can help make whatever it is, your 9 to 5 or your business better, why not have an AI tool that can help make your trading better with ease while you go about your 9 to 5 job or whatever it is? That is where the RoyalQ bot comes into play. Because the RoyalQ bot is a semi-automated AI trading bot that helps you monitor the coin and the market while you go about your day with whatever it is that you do. So, moving on. Here we have a graphical representation of what I've been trying to say. Coach Mo, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Awesome. All right, thank you. All right, so here we have a graphical representation of what I'm trying to talk about. On the left, we have a trader. Now, don't get me wrong. This doesn't mean that day traders don't make any money. No. This doesn't mean that every single day trader must use an AI tool. No. As a matter of fact, there are very profitable um, human or day traders that don't use any bots. That's true. But of course, they had to grind, they had to have extensive knowledge, extensive understanding, extensive nights and days of studying how the market works before they became profitable. So when you see this picture here, it doesn't mean that day traders lose money every single time or they don't make any money. All I'm trying to say is that there's only so much a human being can do at a time. There's only so much a human being can monitor at a time. A human being cannot monitor 50 trades to 100 trades at a go. It is not possible. Yes, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, but not 50, not 20, not 100. And as a human, once emotions get involved with your trading, that's a recipe for disaster. Let's say you have at the back of your mind, you're like, I need to pay my dues in 3 days, or my kids' fees are up on Monday. Now you are trading with emotions. You are, taking more risks than you should. And 9 times out of 10, you will lose money that way. Emotions. But on the right here, we have the AI tool. The AI tool doesn't care what is up with your life. It doesn't care if you have bills to pay. It doesn't care if you have your kids' fees are due. It just does its job. It just executes when it's supposed to execute. And the good thing too is that AI tool can monitor so many more trades than a human being can. So many more trades than a human being can. It can close, it can open, it can buy, it can sell while you go about your day. That is what the RoyalQ bot does for you with ease. Moving on. How does this RoyalQ bot really work? Over here, we have an image. Now, here we have, 1 second, please. So here we have the RoyalQ bot. This is just a graphical representation. We have the RoyalQ bot over here. We have your digital bank account. I would like to call it that, or your digital exchange. We talked about exchange a few slides ago. And over here, we have the API. Now, this API is what binds or syncs your RoyalQ bot to your crypto exchange. Why is that possible? And why does that happen? Because, all right, before I go ahead, please, if we don't take anything away from this call today, we've all been a part of some business in the past that has promised us heaven and earth. They've told you, send us your money, we'll trade for you, and then we'll send you profits every day or week or month. We've all been a part of such business that obviously eventually failed. But in RoyalQ, you do not send your money to anyone to trade for you. I will say it again. In RoyalQ, you do not send your funds to anybody to trade for you. All your funds are in your own possession. Your capital, your profits, everything remain in your possession, in your own cryptocurrency exchange, your own digital bank account in layman's terms. Now, why is that important? Because everything that pertains to security is in your hands. You are the one with the password. You are the one with the email address. You are the one with the 2FA. Everything that pertains to security is in your hands. No one can make a withdrawal except you. No one has access to the money except you. So what this API does is that it gives this RoyalQ access to use the funds you have in here to trade within your exchange. The RoyalQ bot, the API gives the RoyalQ bot access to use the funds you have in your Binance or your cryptocurrency exchange to trade in there and keep the profits for you in there as well. RoyalQ bot cannot withdraw your money. RoyalQ bot cannot withdraw your funds. All your funds are in your possession. I will say it again. All your funds are in your own possession. All right. Now, how does RoyalQ bot really make this money for us? It is done with the trading method called spot trading. Now, when you hear spot trading, for the person that is hearing it for the very first time, it might sound very complicated. But trust me, by the time I'm done, you will see that it's as easy as ABC. When you hear spot trading, what does this simply mean? Now, as a businessman or woman, all right, so please type in the chat. There's one word I'm looking for. Every single man, every single businessman or businesswoman, when they decide to start a business, they do it for one major reason. And what is that reason? I'm looking for a word. Please type in the chat. Every businessman and woman, once you decide to venture into a business as a man or as a woman, there's one major thing you look to achieve or to make or to get when you start a new business. And what is that thing, please? Please type in the chat. What is that thing? All right, so Mr. Peace says profit. Yusuf says profit. Mr. Drew says profit. And Kenneth says to make profit, profit. Awesome. Gain and profit. Fantastic. Yes. Nobody gets involved in the business or gets started in a business to lose money. I have not met such person. I have not met a person that decides, I want to go into this business because I want to lose money. No. You start a business because you want to make profit. You want to make gains. All right. Now, and what is making gain? What does making profit mean? What does it really mean? Making profits simply means that you source a product, you find it for cheaper, you purchase that product, and then you sell it at a higher price. That difference is your profit. Simple. You find a product, you purchase it for cheaper, you sell it at a higher price, the difference is your profit. Now, this example, this scenario I just gave you here is simply what spot trading means, which means buying low and selling high. This is how RoyalQ helps you make money. There are so many other risky ways to make money, risky trading methods. We have futures trading, we have margin trading, but the safest is called spot trading. I'll tell you why. Number one, obviously, you buy low, you sell high. There is no margin or futures trading with spot trading. Thirdly, you can make several trades in a day. And finally, there are no emotions and no losses in spot trading. I will say it again. In spot trading, there are no losses except in one scenario. And I'm going to tell you what that scenario is. There's only one scenario that we can see that now you have lost money while spot trading. And let me tell you what that is. So let's take, for instance, I want to use a very basic example now that we can all relate to. So let's say, for instance, you decide to buy a bag of rice, all right? You decide to buy a bag of rice at 30,000 naira. You decide that when this bag of rice gets to 50K, which is 50,000 naira, you are going to sell off in profits, all right? That is your plan. But something happens in the market, something drastic happens in the market. Now, the price of rice now drops from 30,000 naira, it drops to um, 25. It drops to, keeps dropping to 20, even drops to 15,000 naira per bag of rice. Of course, for the average man, for the consumer, for the people that want to buy rice, of course, it's good news because they get to buy rice for way cheaper. But as a businessman or woman, this is not quite good for you. For the obvious reasons. This is not quite good for you. So please type in the chat. At this point, where the bag of rice, remember, you still have possession of that bag of rice in your house. At this point, when the bag of rice is at 15,000 naira per bag, would you say that you have lost money? Please type in the chat. Would you say you have lost money, yes or no? Would you say that you have lost money? Please type in the chat, yes or no. All right, so we have people saying no, 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 no. Please, if you truly feel you've lost money, please type yes. Don't be cajoled by the majority of the responses. If you feel that you have lost money, please type yes. All right, I'm happy. Yes, good. Igor says yes, obviously. I like that. I like that. So people say no, 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 no. Engineer says no. No, because you're still holding the rice. All right. So Igor says is the only person that said yes. All right. So Goriola says yes if you dispose the bag of rice. All right. So thank you for your answers. I always want you to feel free to express yourself. This is a safe space. If you don't understand something, please tell us. We'll definitely go back to it to explain. There is no judgment on this call. All right. All right. So most people said no. And they are right. Why would you say no? Because as long as you are still in possession of that bag of rice in your house or in your store, or whatever it is, you are still in possession of that property, you haven't lost money. You have only lost the value of that bag of rice at the time. Now, why am I saying this? Because the market does two things. The market does two things. The market goes down, it goes up. It goes down, it goes up. The market is constantly fluctuating, constantly. So if you hold on to that bag of rice, yes, it might take a while, but as soon as the value of that bag of rice starts getting back to this point, even to the break-even point of your 30,000, at this point, you can decide to sell off and break even. Or you can decide to wait for the bag of rice to eventually get to your profit target. Yes, it will take a while. But as long as you don't sell off that bag of rice that's in your possession, you haven't lost money. So I told you that there's only one scenario that we can see that you have finally lost money. And what is that scenario? Let's take, for instance, when the bag of rice dropped from 30 to 25 to 20 to 15. All right, so at that time, the bag of rice was worth 15,000 naira. You are still in possession of that bag of rice. You are waiting days, weeks, months. And now you are saying that I don't think I can wait anymore for this price to come back up. Let me just sell it like that. Let me just sell it off like that. As soon as you sell off at any point lower than when you bought it, then we can say that you have actually lost money. And when you do that, we'll say that you just had an actual loss. Actual loss. When you decide to sell off at a price lower than when you bought that product or that coin or that cryptocurrency or that bag of rice, we'll say that you just had an actual loss. Now, what if you don't sell off? What if, it's still in the, remember, it was 30,000, 30K, it dropped to 25 to 20. At this range, anything below here, obviously the price will keep ranging from 15 to 25 to 20 to 15. At this point here, we would say that you were in a floating loss. This is not an actual loss because the market can always recover. So now you know what a floating loss means when you hear it in the Royal Q team or the Royal Q groups. You also know what an actual loss is when you hear it as well. So as long as you don't sell off, obviously, all these examples I'm giving of a bag of rice, in this essence, obviously, they are all trading cryptocurrency coins in Royal Q. As long as you don't sell off, as long as you don't sell off manually, you cannot lose money when spot trading with Royal Q. That is the power of what the Royal Q bot can do for you. So that's one method. That's what spot trading is in a nutshell. Now, another method that the Royal Q bot uses to make good gains for us is what we call the martingale strategy. Now, what exactly is the martingale strategy? Let's say, for instance, we have two people in question. Let's say we have a man called Paul. All right, so Paul decides to purchase a cryptocurrency for $200. His plan is that when this coin gets up to $500, he's going to sell, excuse me, in profits, he's going to sell off. But something happens in the market. Just like I said, you might have your own plan, but the market has its own plan. The market does what it wants to do. So your plan is that, or Mr. Paul's plan was that when he purchases this coin at $200, when he gets to $500, he's going to sell off in profit. But something happens in the market. And now this coin that he bought for $20 now depreciates the value and is now worth 150. It keeps going down. It is now worth 100. It keeps going down. It's even worth $50. So a coin that he bought for $200 is now worth $50. Now, what is Mr. Paul doing? He's thinking, what should I do? Should I sell off? Have I lost my money? What do I really do? I'm here to tell you that even at this point of $50, Mr. Paul hasn't lost his money. Because remember, what he purchased was a cryptocurrency. And as of when he purchased it, the cryptocurrency was worth $200. But when the market dwindled and went down, it is now worth $50. So Mr. Paul decides to, you know what, I'm just going to wait for this market to recover as long as it will take. Yes, it might take days, it might take weeks, it might even take months to recover. But as soon as this price recovers back to his $200, at this point, he can break even and sell off, or he can wait for it to get to his initial profit target of 500. That is one scenario. Remember, all Mr. Paul did in this scenario was wait for the market to recover. As much time as he needed, he decided to wait. Now, that is one scenario. Let's say, for instance, we have another person. Let's call her Jennifer. Now, Jennifer decides to do the same thing that Mr. Paul has done, but with a little difference. Remember, I'm trying to show you what the martingale strategy means. So Jennifer decides to do the same thing that Mr. Paul has done, but with a little difference. So what does she do? Same thing. She decides to purchase a coin for $200. Same thing. She plans that when this coin gets to 500, she's going to sell off in profits. But the same thing happens as well. The market starts dwindling. The coin she bought for $200 dwindles down and is now worth 150. Sorry, 1 second. She purchased at 200. Her plan is to get to 500 and sell. Now the market starts dwindling. It goes down to 150. It goes down to 100. It even goes down to $50. Same thing. But Jennifer isn't panicking, unlike Mr. Paul, because Jennifer understands that the market does two things. The market goes down, it comes up. The market constantly fluctuates, no matter how long it takes. She understands this. So what does she do? What does she do? Now, every time the market dropped, Jennifer decided to buy more coins. Every time the market dropped further, she decided to buy more coins. Every time the market dropped, she kept buying more coins. Why? You might look at her and wonder, is this girl okay? You see that your money is going down, you're losing money, and you're still putting money into this thing that's going down. Are you okay? But yes, she understands what she's doing. Because this method she's doing right now would make her way more money than Mr. Paul. Because by the time this coin starts appreciating, even before it gets this break-even point, she would have made way more money at this point. More than Mr. Paul. Because remember, all Mr. Paul did was wait for the market. But what Jennifer did was that she saw an opportunity to buy into the market even at a lower point. So for every time the market dropped, Jennifer kept buying more positions. When it dropped further, she kept buying more positions because by the time this coin eventually gets to her profit target, she would have made way more money than Mr. Paul. Now, this entire example I just gave here is what we call the martingale strategy. And all these examples I gave right now will not be done by you. It will be seamlessly done by the power of the Royal Q-Bot. Yes, the Royal Q-Bot purchases positions for you according to how you've set it to buy more positions when the market is going against you. Because by the time the market starts appreciating, you would make way more money than if you had decided to wait for the market to just go down and come up. That is the power of the martingale strategy. I hope it is clear. Before I move on, please type in the chat if you understand. I tried my best to be very basic with the explanation. So if you understood everything I said, please type yes. If you understood this explanation, please type a yes in the chat. If you understood everything I said, please type a yes in the chat. Awesome. Also, if you also didn't understand, please type no. Feel free. Feel free. Engineer says understood. Ogum says yes. Claire, I understood. Claire, yes, yes. Awesome. All right. All right. So moving forward, knowing what we know now about the martingale strategy and what we know about what Mr. Paul did, at this point, what strategy would you decide to use? Mr. Paul's strategy or Miss Jennifer's strategy? Please type in the chat. Please type in the chat. Whose strategy do you think would be better? The person who decided to wait or the person who took action? Okoli says, no, I don't understand. You just joined. You might need to wait for the recording later. We'll share it in the groups. Or you can attend the meeting next week, or we have other meetings during the week. Just get back to the person who invited you, and they will definitely send you the link to the next meeting. All right, so engineer says Jennifer. All right, Jennifer, depending on the capital Jennifer. All right, awesome. So yes, Jennifer's strategy, oh no, the Martingale strategy is the right strategy for this trade. Moving forward, we also have what we call the cycle strategy in RoyalQ. Now, what exactly is this? When you hear the word cycle, obviously you, at the back of your mind, you can tell that it is something that is repeating in process, something that just keeps happening. So take, for instance, you instruct a RoyalQ bot to purchase a coin for you at $200, same thing. You tell your RoyalQ bot that when it gets to 500, please sell in profit for me. Remember, we're explaining the cycle strategy. So when it gets to 500, you also tell your RoyalQ bot that when the market comes back down, please rebuy into this market. If the market goes up, please sell. If the market comes down, please buy. If the market goes up, please sell. So you see that it's a constant process. Cycle. It's a constant process that you have told your RoyalQ bot to keep performing even though you are not there. That is the power of this thing. Like, you don't have to be there for the RoyalQ bot to do these trades or carry out these trades for you. You can go about your day, your 9 to 5, whatever it is that you're doing, and these things will happen seamlessly according to how you have set your RoyalQ bot. All right. Now, this example I just gave here now is what we call the cycle strategy. Next, we have the one-shot strategy over here. And by the name, you can tell, obviously, what this might imply. It simply means that it's a one-time instruction that you have given to your RoyalQ bot. Let's take, for instance, same thing. You purchase a coin at $500. You tell your RoyalQ bot that when it gets to $1,000, please sell in profits. If the market starts coming back down, do not buy into this market. If the market even comes down further, do not buy. If it goes up, do not buy. Basically, the only instruction that matters during this process is the very first one, where you told it to buy at a point and sell at the highest point. This is the only trade that the RoyalQ bot would take because you chose the one-shot strategy. All right? So is that clear? If it's clear, please type a yes in the chat. If that's clear for one-shot strategy and cycle, please type yes in the chat. All right. All right. So yes. All right. That's good. All right. So yes. So we're talking about the monthly profits for these strategies that we've talked about. The first one is cycle. You can make from approximately 5 to 30% profit per month, depending on the coin that you have chosen to trade. All right. Now the next one, for the one-shot strategy, you can make from 5 to 100% in a month. Again, depending on the coin you have chosen to trade. Now, moving forward, let's talk about some income. What kind of income do you make from RoyalQ? The first one is, here we have trading income, which simply means this is the money, the income you make when your RoyalQ bot sells off successfully for you. You know, when you place a trade and it sells in profits for you, we call that the trading income. Next, you have the team trading profits. This is the profits that you make when you show someone this business and they decide to get started. As they make profits, you also make profits as well. Next, you have the affiliate income. When you bless somebody with this business, I always call it that. When you decide to bless somebody with this business and they get started, RoyalQ also rewards you for bringing on somebody on board to the business. Finally, we have what we call the fuel fee. Now, what exactly is this fuel fee? It is 20%. Remember, a few slides ago, I asked you, what exactly does a businessman or woman, what do they look out for when they want to start a business? And we all said in unison, profits. They want to make profit. So yes, you might tell me that this RoyalQ business, the RoyalQ bot sounds amazing, but was it just created for free? For everybody to just use just like that? No, it's a business. So yes, the people who created the bot also want to make profits from the business. But the good thing is that they only make profits when you make profits. They only make profits when you make profits. What do I mean by this? 20% whenever and only when you make profit, 20% of whatever you make goes to the Royal Q business. Whatever profit you make, 20% goes to them. If you make $10 profit, 20% goes to them. If you make $100 profit, 20% goes to them as well. All right, so how do you get started with this business of ours? Over here, you can see that you will need a minimum of 240 USDT. Remember, we talked about this from when we started the meeting. We talked about US dollars and USDT. And because Royal Q is a crypto business, the payment would be in crypto, which is USDT. And remember, I told you that USDT is the cryptocurrency equivalent of a regular dollar. So for this, you will need a minimum of 240 USDT to get started in this business. Now, how does that get spread? You will need 120 USDT of this 240 would go to the subscription. Just like how you pay your Netflix bills, your Amazon Prime bills, this gives you access to use the bot for a year. It's a yearly subscription. So once you pay this, you gain access to use the Royal Q bot. Next, 20 USDT would be for the fuel fee. Remember, we talked about it a slide ago, which is the fuel fee is whenever you make profit, the fuel fee, which is 20%, goes to the Royal Q business. So whatever that 20% is from your profits will get deducted from this 20 USD, and that goes to the Royal Q business. All right, next, you would then need a minimum of $100 in your Binance or your cryptocurrency exchange. Now, when I say $100, obviously this is the very minimum. Obviously, people traded a lot more, like 500, 1,000, 10,000, 50,000, but $100 is the basic. And of course, you can't expect to make the kind of gains that somebody is trading with $100 on $1,000 on a $100 account. Of course, the more capital you have, the more potential to make more profits. And the good thing as well is, like, as I said earlier, your funds are in your possession. You are not sending your money to anybody. Your money is in your possession, in your Binance, in your cryptocurrency exchange that you have access to. That is powerful. Your capital, your profits, all in your possession. All right, so here are 7 reasons why Royal Q is just amazing. Number 1, no payment of salary to anyone because everything is done on your smartphone. Next, no data required. Well, no data required. The only time you require data or internet access is when you are setting up the Royal Q bot or when you're setting up a trade. As soon as you set up a trade and you click on start and the trade starts, you can turn off your data, you can go about your day, you can walk into a place that has no internet reception, you can go to a place that has no internet coverage, and the Royal Q bot will carry out your trades seamlessly, even when you are not there. Next, 0% supervision. Your capital and profit is 100% in your custody. Like I said, everything pertaining to security is in your hands. You have the passwords, everything pertaining to security is in your control. Your capital, your profit is all in your own possession. Next, your kids can inherit this business. Yes, we have a saying that in the future, we will no longer be passing on land documents and regular wills to our loved ones. We're passing on our private keys, our passwords for our loved ones to access our digital wealth. Next, no loss of funds and no third party. We've talked about no loss of funds. We've talked about floating losses, actual losses. I'm sure you understand what those mean by now. Next, no skills required until you decide to become a day trader. Remember, I told you that for you to become a day trader, you need understanding of the market and what to look out for before you can become a day trader. Finally, no CAC or degree required to start this business. So, what do you stand to gain when you join the RQTMI team? Number one, you get access to the RQTMI premium group. Now, we have a thriving community. We have so many groups on WhatsApp. We have amazing leaders. We have amazing members that are willing to hold your hands once you get started. If you don't understand anything, you can reach out to any one of us. We'll definitely be there to help you out to sort out whatever it is that is giving you concern. Next, Node will give you free training until you become a pro with the RoyalQ bot. So, hands-on tutelage. We have many Zoom calls. We have technical calls as well, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So please get back to the person who invited you to this call and let them know that you'd like to attend those other calls as well, so they can send you the link. Finally, you get the RQTMI trading team template, the setup template. Now, this template caters to whatever capital structure you have. This will help you and guide you whatever structure, whatever capital you have to help you make the most gains possible. All right. Now, if you decide to go learn all this elsewhere, it could cost you from $5,000 to $6,000. But if you join the team, as soon as you get started, as soon as you purchase the bot, as soon as you start using the bot, you can get all this for free. Once you join the team, you become part of the family. That being said, thank you so much. I think we already passed our time, but thank you. I hope you enjoyed the meeting. If you did, please type value in the chat. Let me know how you feel about this meeting today. Once again, my name is Ikenna George Elendu. Thank you for listening. I'll be here same time next week, Wednesday. Do send the links to your prospects and let them know that we'll get started again on Wednesday. If you're just here for the very first time, do well to get back to the person who invited you to the call. Let them know you're about to get started and get started as soon as you can. This business is amazing. This business will help you make the funds that you need. So like I said, please type in the chat if you enjoyed the meeting, value. If you didn't, also tell me in the chat. Thank you so much. Have an amazing evening, everyone. I will unmute ourselves to say our goodbyes. Good night, everyone.
Wonderful. Good night, everyone.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good night,
Thank you,
coach.
sir. Good night.
God bless you so
Very
much.
fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. God bless you. God bless you. It was a wonderful session.
Thank you, Georgie. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Good night, everyone.
Thank you, coach.